Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. The NBA playoffs are here 2015, and we are talking right now with a returning guest. Some of our regular viewers might know who this guy is. Anyone on the internet who follows sports betting carefully knows who this guy is. Kyle Hunter from HunterSportsPicks.com. We are going to discuss the futures odds for the MVP of the NBA Finals. Kyle Hunter, thanks for being back with us.
Thanks for having me on again.
All right, the MVP of the NBA Finals. This one's a little more interesting to my eye than it has been in years past. It's not exactly clear, at least to me, who the likely champion is going to be. I guess, Golden State and Steph Curry is looking freaking awesome. And if they win, you got to assume it's going to be Curry or nothing. Curry right now, I'm seeing at 5 times, is plus 320 to win the NBA Finals MVP. The overall favorite is LeBron James at plus 275. But should the Cavs be, are the Cavs the team that I think should be favored to win the NBA title? I'm not exactly sure. Atlanta looks very scary, and if it is Atlanta, Atlanta has, a wide open field, so you get a big long shot. Kyle Korver plus 7,500, and Al Horford plus 5,000. The shortest odds for anyone on Atlanta is Teague at plus 2,200. Let's start with, who do you think is going to win the NBA championship, first of all?
It's pretty wide open, like you were just saying there, and that's what makes this more interesting. I also think this is good to talk about because this time of the year, the NBA game lines are very sharp.
Right.
So if you want to look for some value, I think it's a really good place to look at props. I think the Cavs are probably the most likely team to win it all because they have a lot easier path than everybody from the Western Conference. So it makes sense to me that LeBron James is the favorite here. But Golden State's played so well all year. Steph Curry's been tremendous. Certainly wouldn't be shocking if Klay Thompson got going and won the MVP of the finals either. But there's a ton of teams in the Western Conference that could win it. So that scares me away from taking anybody on Golden State's side.
So you're not very high on Atlanta then? Can I glean that from what you just said? Because I'm still thinking about, in the middle of the year when, the Cavs were like under 500 and Atlanta was covering game in and game out. You think that the Cavs are going to make it to the finals? You prefer them over Atlanta?
I think Atlanta's upside's lower than Cleveland's. I think Cleveland was kind of playing down to the level of competition for a long time. Now that it's playoff time, everybody's motivated every single game. Makes handicapping a lot different. I think Cleveland's upside just a lot higher than Atlanta. I think it'd be really tough for Atlanta to win that series. I do think it'll probably be Atlanta against Cleveland in that series. I think that if Atlanta, even if they do win that series, I don't give them a very good shot of winning the finals overall. Mm-hmm. You're probably going to need the team to win the finals, obviously, to be the MVPs. It hasn't happened in a long time otherwise. So I think you really need to try to look at someone other than them. Also, if you're looking at Atlanta, it's going to be really hard to pick out who would win it off that team. No one superstar there.
See, my sense is that a team that is as deep and balanced scoring-wise as Atlanta is might be getting a little bit undervalued in the playoffs. So you don't see that as the case?
I think Atlanta could have some value in the first couple series when they play against Brooklyn, maybe Toronto, Washington. I think later in the playoffs they wouldn't have as much value because the other teams they're going to be playing against have a lot more talent. I think Atlanta deserves a ton of credit for where they've gotten this year. Like I said, I don't think their upside's as high. So I guess if I'm looking for value plays here for our finals MVP, I look over toward the West. I look at a team like Memphis. Mm-hmm. Memphis has played well all year. I'm not saying I think Memphis is going to win the West because I don't. Mm-hmm. But you see somebody like Marc Gasol at 50-1 or even higher some places. Now, Gasol's been a little bit banged up, but he just put up 33 points and 13 boards in their last regular season game last night. So I think a team like Memphis is a good team to look for value plays, partially also because of who they match up against. They play against Portland here in their first game. Portland is a really banged up team. Portland's in a lot of trouble right now. If Memphis gets through that one, they'd have to upset Golden State. Stranger things have happened in the NBA playoffs. I'm not predicting it to happen. But, it could certainly happen. Another team that I like to look at for futures odds, the San Antonio Spurs. Right. They're counted out every single year, and then they come back. Certainly not going to surprise me much at all if the Spurs are in the NBA Finals again.
Yeah, you always have to consider the Spurs, especially how they came on at the end of the year. And the favorite on the Spurs, the top choice on the Spurs is Kawhi Leonard at plus 1,000. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm not analyzing the West correctly. I know they're very deep, and I know there's a lot of strong teams, but my sense is that no one's really going to, when it comes down to it, going to be able to get past Golden State. But you don't see Golden State. I'd say the only team maybe is if Popovich can pull some magic with the Spurs, but you don't see Golden State as the clear-cut choice to get to win the West.
I don't want to talk down Golden State at all. So
Right.
I'm not necessarily saying I'm low on Golden State. I think Golden State has the highest chance of anybody at getting to the finals. I think my second choice would be the Spurs, though, and I think there's probably more value on the Spurs. Kawhi Leonard 10-1, Tim Duncan 28 or 30-1, different places. That could have a little bit of value. That'd sure be a nice storyline if Tim Duncan could be the NBA Finals MVP in what would probably be his last season.
Well, I think we've beaten around the bush enough here. Kyle Hunter, let's pin you down on a pick. This is, mostly just for fun here. There could be, though, value betting one of these lines. If you had to make a pick at the current odds, would you take LeBron James plus 275, Steph Curry at plus 320, Kawhi Leonard at plus 1,000, James Harden at plus 1,200, or someone else at an even longer shot?
First of all, I want to say that I wouldn't take James Harden. I think that's one of the worst values on the board right here. I think it's very unlikely that Houston gets through the West. Too much of a one-man team for me. Dwight Howard hasn't proven that much with them this year. Harden's obviously a tremendous player, but I don't think they're going to get to the NBA Finals. I don't like to pick the favorite in a spot like this. I'm not going to take LeBron James. I don't like to lock up my money for a long time on somebody with not long odds. So what I'm going to take is I'm going to take Kawhi Leonard plus 1,000. Popovich is a tremendous coach.
Yes.
The Spurs, people count them out every single year. Like I said, they keep coming back. Maybe they don't have it again this year, but I wouldn't want to be against them. And I think plus 1,000. Kawhi Leonard's certainly their best player at this point. So I like the value there.
Kawhi Leonard at plus 1,000. Wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Hunter has given us another excellent value play here. Kyle Hunter, thanks so much for being with us.